times I'm asked, what I look for when I'm getting ready to put a horse in a two rein. And I think one of the main things, I want my horse to be able to be ridden, that'll stay between the reins and my legs real well, that I can create the arc and angles I need from the horse with the slightest amount of rein work. I want him to be kind of in the two rein in the Bosalita, or her in the Bosalita, like kind of how I want her to be in the bridle. I want, when she does things, to shape her body in a way that I can stay over her spine and her chin will stay over her spine. And basically be pretty level in the head, that she's not reaching up with her head and her neck too much when she makes changes. I want her to engage her body and use her feet. This horse is still she's getting closer, but she's still not quite there. If the horse is really having to throw its neck up and stuff to make those movements, then it's not engaging through its body near as well as I want. I want that horse, and to me, the point of the hackamore, and one of the reasons I like to use a hackamore over everything else, is when I start, is to get that horse to position its feet, to teach the horse, for certain things your feet need to go here to be able to adjust. It gives that horse some time to adjust its feet, to set itself up and be able to do whatever maneuver, but do it in a certain way. It has to be in a way, that's in the guidelines of how a bridle works. Basically between a fairly small area, keeping all parts aligned and engaging all the way through the body, from the tip of its nose to its, follow through all the way to the ground, through its loins and its hips and to its feet. And so that's kind of what I look for. I want the horse to be fairly fluid and light, and when it feels a rein touch, it softens to it, and wherever it touches it, it softens, and then starts to come back through the horse's body without a lot of resistance. Some of the things I kind of look for. What I'm looking for is that horse to learn to be softened when it feels it runs into something, it hits a wall. Stay in the middle of that Bosalita. Stay in the middle of those bridles. To soften when it feels something, nudge it, whether it be a leg, or a rein, or the cheeks of the bit, or the sides of the hackamore, Bosalita. If that horse can learn to stay in there, in that soft spot, to where you can just, when you make a rein hard, just slightly harder for a second, or your body adjusts, then it kind of gives that way. And if you can get that to where everything lines up through that spine, and your spine to your spine, that horse will get really good in the bridle and get comfortable. It's all about the horse being comfortable in these spots. If it's not comfortable, we can force him into it, but then there's always going to be tension, and we can't get a real engagement and elasticity through movement with tension. And see, that's why when starting in the two rein, we have to go back, right? So it's like kindergarten, and that's one of the things. And it's easy. We go into the bridle, and everybody expects them to be just exactly the same as they were in the hackamore in the bridle. Well, they have to learn this, so you got to go back to kindergarten and it's almost like going back to kindergarten and learning the same things in Spanish or something, as far as everything you do has a little bit of a different language to it with the bridle when you add to it, right? And then also it's amplified. And so all that amplification comes. And that's why if your horse isn't steady and smooth in your 2-rein and doesn't and is kind of jumping away from things instead of engaging and using its whole body, then that's going to be amplified. And when he does that, then his head's going to come up and he's going to start jerking around, right? So if we don't have that to where the horse is so used to just softening into things and engaging through its body to its feet, then all that motion with all that added weight and movement in the mouth is going to get really choppy. And what we want to do is in our 2-rein, start our 2-rein to keep that soft. And this is more for Anthony than the 2-rein, but to keep that soft. And then when we go to the bridle, then we want to be able to do less and less and less. You know, optimally, I don't even get there myself, but I know there's a place where you could get and literally never move your bridle hand or arm at all, and just adjust with your spine slightly and your seat, and keep your rope and everything in here, and have everything that you need to get all your work done, and that horse stays totally smooth in there. You know, with little lifts maybe every once in a while to go to your horn or something, but all this arm movement and coming here and moving like this it should not even be necessary. We teach ourselves to stay in the middle but stay supple, fluid, right? So if we set something up, we have to set it up. Like if I ask and it doesn't happen, I have to go back to the middle and then ask again. And do it in a way, and then if I don't get, if I do it 2 or 3 times and I don't get an answer that's close to what I want, then what do I have to do? I have to adjust my question. I have to adjust my body, right? I can't just ask the same question louder. I have to adjust my question so that, or rethink what I want, so that the horse is able to do it.